I've traveled this big world, lonesome I have roamed. I've laid down in green pastures, I've rolled down rocky roads. And as my hair turned silver, I lost my lust for gold. Now cups of wine can't satisfy the thirst within my soul. Narrow is the road to glory. Perdition's gates are broad and wide. On the steps you take to ponder, from the path to not far wander, for the narrow road to glory's worth the price. I broke bread with the wicked, I made my plans with fools. To the gates of destruction I've led many others through. And though my sins were many, I reached out for his robe, and through his tender mercies now my cup overflows. Narrow is the road to glory. Perdition's gates are broad and wide. On the steps you take to ponder, from the path to not far wander, for the narrow road to glory's worth the price. From the lonely orphan children to the great kings of men, all are bound to perish. Death is the wage of sin. So turn away from gossip, deceitfulness, and woe. Let the carpenter from Galilee take up your heavy load. Narrow is the road to glory. Perdition's gates are broad and wide. On the steps you take to ponder, from the path to not far wander, for the narrow road to glory's worth the price. For the narrow road to glory's worth the price. Well, good Sunday morning. I have a confession to make. I have no video for Monday. And y'all, I have been having such terrible issues with electronics and internet. And it has totally discombobulated me. The way I got internet was called a jetpack. It's like a phone, but you don't dial out on it or anything. It's just a little... It's like a hotspot on your phone, except for it's got its own separate plan. It's got its own separate everything. Well, when I moved from here into the tiny, apparently I connect with the tower differently. So things didn't work properly, and then at the same time, I got the energy solar generator. So that's what I'm powering everything off of. Two variables have changed in that process and in the last month, because I moved in officially on October 6th. My jetpack completely died. So, now the jetpack was older, and it had an option of connecting at 2.5 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz. Or one of the options was whichever one's better at the moment, we'll pick that one. And that's what it was set on, because that's the only way I could get my computer to work and get the internet from it for whatever reason. Is this too technical? Is this boring? Would y'all rather talk about the new hat I'm wearing? Let's just let it be said, the last video that I uploaded from what I have figured out how to do. And I had to switch plans on my phone. I have an iPhone 7. And it's connecting on a 5G network. And it's giving me a hotspot network that now is limited in data differently than my jetpack was. And I'm still debating. Here's the thing. If I'm using the hotspot for the computer, I cannot use the phone at the same time. And something odd that has happened. When my phone is plugged in to my new generator, it won't work. I cannot, the keypad, nothing works on the keypad. And the first time I used it, when I got my new plan in action, I'm going to show you the screenshot I took. My phone was sitting on the counter, on the windowsill basically, not the counter. And all of a sudden, the dial screen, you know, where you push in all your numbers, popped up. I wasn't touching the phone. It was plugged in, charging, sitting there with the hotspot on when this happened. And this is what it said. It actually happened twice. Once much later time, and I thought, I've already proven it happened. I don't have to prove it happened twice. So I texted Sarah the screenshot, and I said, apparently my phone is trying to call home. Oh my goodness. Anyway, that happened. So that's the electronics and why I have not got a video. Because Friday's video kind of overwhelmed me. And while it was happening, I couldn't do really anything else on my phone or on my computer. It seems my computer is a little overwhelmed. So was that inverter? Was the fan turning on? I still have the refrigerator on in here. It's keeping my plant warm, so it doesn't freeze, because I have not figured out a place to put that in the tiny. I have managed to get all the other living plants into the tiny. We're scrunched, but we're in there to protect them from the freeze. Boy, I'm squirreling. I don't even know if I can get back to where I was. I've done run down the path, and I'm going on to newer things. Kind of backtracking a little bit, because the weather, there was frost on the ground the other morning. I don't remember it being as cold as it is right now in November. Even the middle of November. I don't even remember it being this cold really in January. And it could just be a front moving through. Anyway, what I have discovered, my knitting, I want to talk to you about that. Remember, I had a spool. I had 2 spools of yarn. And it is lace weight. It's like just a little thread. You've seen it. And I'm going to have a little video of all the things I've knit on one spool. Now, what I have discovered, it is exactly what I wanted at the moment. And now I realize why I wanted it. It is really good if I'm just sitting inside somewhere, out of the wind and the weather. But man, oh man, you think you're wearing a wool sweater and you walk outside, and it's like it was a while ago. I was like, the wind was coming from the north. I'm wearing wool on my head. It's my new hat. I knit it on bigger needles, and I did not take this is what it looks like before. I should have done that, but I didn't. So it was just as, see how this is? Didn't do a whole lot for my head. Didn't keeping me warm. However, because I do that, I overestimate things and make them really big, I was able to felt it down. So I did that. I put it in a little bowl of hot water, hot soapy water, and I kind of scrubbed it and I squeezed it and I did all the stuff, and then I put it in the cold water, and I squeezed it out, and I put it back in the hot water, and now it fits my head. So, which brings me to, why are we here in the shed? Which will soon be renamed to the studio. Because it's the perfect place to do that. Because I have so little in here, I don't run into everything. I've got the bed, I can lay fabrics out, cut things, and do things. I have so many projects, and what you saw was a bin of finished projects that I want to sort out. There are dolls and baskets and things I made 6 months ago with the intention of putting them on my Ko-fi or my coffee. Remember when I was with the magnets? Y'all, I have the awfulest time trying to keep up with it all. A part of it is I've always been this way. I've always had so many things in my head going at any given moment that I want to do. What's different is that I used to be more disciplined and organized. And I also know my limitations. I know what I'm able to handle. And I've got too much stuff. Again. And you know, I've spent all summer getting rid of stuff. Now, I did a really massive get rid of stuff at the beginning of summer. And when I started moving into the tiny, I made at least two trips to Goodwill with stuff. Now, in the sorting out, there are things I have kept. And what I used to do in my past life, I've always been bad about this, but I would make the list the project. And then I just had a running list of projects that I could come in and work on at any given moment. And you have walked with me through some of those projects. And what I'm getting ready to do now, here's another confession. I have known for over a year that I needed to make a new fleece hat. I forgot to bring it. I'll have to go get it and show it to you. Okay, this was hopeful to replace my black fleece hat. Now, one of the reasons I need to do that is not just because I have been wearing it since at least 2014, because I made it when I was in California. Now, over the last 5 years, I bought 3 yards of black fleece fabric. Because I didn't ever want to run out of black fleece hats. That fleece I can sleep in. Now it's also a head protector. It's almost like wearing a helmet. Because right about here on my fleece hat is a burn mark. Okay, sorry, I got a message and it turned off my video. So the burn mark was here. And I was so grateful to have on that hat because apparently I leaned forward near a wood stove. Why was I have my face that close to the stove? I don't know. It may have been the stove up at the greenhouse. All I know, it singed it. And I'm just glad. If it had been my skin, it has singed my skin. So I've just kind of ignored that. Because I misplaced the black fleece. And it just kept traveling around. And I would remember it and doing something with it and go look there and it's like, oh no. I put it somewhere else better. I was looking for a coat. When I was looking for the coat, I found the black fleece. So I pulled the coat out. Reminded myself I want to make a pattern of it and remake it into wool because I have a wool blanket. So, y'all, I designed this hat when I was in Hawaii. And I lived up on the side of Mauna Loa at about 4,500 feet. And I had put that hat on, and I had to go down to Kona that day. And I had worn that hat. And of course, you know, you get hat hair. So I was determined I wasn't taking it off. I thought I was going to die. It was so hot. Because, you know, you come down off of the mountain and you realize, oh, everybody else, it's September. It's not January. And, oh my goodness. So anyway, that hat I ended up accidentally felting. And now it is a bowl. Because if you felt a hat enough, you just fold the edges down and now it's a bowl. So, that's why you got to be careful. Some of you may have some of you may have put your wool sweater in the wash or the dryer. The dryer will do it too. But being without dryer, I have to do all my felting just in water. Today I am going to make a new fleece hat. It is almost 11:30 on a Sunday morning. And it is bright, sunny, and a little bit chilly windy out there.
Yeah. May the road rise to meet you and the sun kiss your face. May there always be a miracle waiting just to bless your day. Life won't always hand you roses. Don't let it get you down. Keep your eyes on what your goal is and your feet on solid ground. Take this with you where you go. You are love, 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 love. You are loved, yeah, you are. You are love, 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 love. You are loved, yeah, you are. Might you walk courageously through the valley of your doubt. Might you always strive to just keep
Well, I did it.
when the trouble comes and it will.
All in one video. Didn't take me very long. This is my own design. I'm thinking that it stretches over time, so it's a pretty snug fit, but covers my ears and covers my head. Will keep me warm and help me sleep good too. Okay, what's next? I have no idea. I've got such a long list. Y'all stay tuned. I love y'all.
And the fact that you are love.